Yay! And we are live from here at Elgar in Costa Rica. I am Vivad Koch. I'm your host today, and I'm so thrilled to be welcoming a very dear friend of mine, Desiree.
Hello, thank you for having me.
It seems bizarre that we're probably just a stone's throw from each other in our beautiful casitas here at Elgar. Anyway, we've just finished the 6-day event, which was called Never Give In, Never Give Up, Never Quit, Always Ask a Question. So whoever's watching us now and in the future, what can you receive from what we have experienced and explored and adventured into and opened up over the last 6 days? Because energy knows no bounds. We're all connected. Okay. So what can you receive from this live today? So anyway, without further ado, I wanted to talk to you, Desiree, about the acoustical wavelength. So I titled this, well, actually, the live wanted to be called What World is Gary Douglas Aware of That Is Now Available? So the first thing that popped for me is I have been fortunate enough to hear your beautiful voice and your being sing. And can you talk about what you perceive that contributes to the world?
Yeah, how could I be asked a more beautiful question? Um, there's lots of different places and spaces that people can sing from, but I know in my experience, it's as far as I can remember back, it's always like starts with deep listening. It's like listening to everything that's singing around me and choosing what sound I would like to add, what I'd like to add. What's the shape or the speed or the color or the vibration that I want to add to what I'm hearing. And when I sing from there, it's someone like surfing on a big wave. There isn't cutting into the space. There isn't like a sense of making noise. It's like entering in and participating with everything that is willing to sing, which is everything, really. It's not about being a singer. It's like what is actually singing. And I always had a lot of confusion because there's something that people do here that's like, singing, which is fun and entertaining. And that's fun too. And I enjoy that. But there was also this part of me that wanted to sing with everything. And when you sing with the things, other musicians is one thing, but singing with a space, you just get to add yourself. It's such an inclusion, and it's it's like the joy of listening and contributing and being heard, and letting everything else be heard by you. So the best that I could say, it's like playing with everything that's willing to sing, and the things that are willing to sing is like everything that's so alive. And sometimes that's people, and sometimes it's nature, sometimes it's the earth, sometimes it's the water, it's everything.
Wow, what a beautiful, my whole body is just like, oh, my body's singing to what you're, weaving into the world. And because these lives are about introducing Gary Douglas, and I feel really honored to be able to talk to incredible people all around the world with their personal interaction with Gary. So do you remember when you first came into Access, did he ever facilitate you and your voice and the singing part of your career in your life?
Yes, absolutely. um, I will first say it's just such a joy to get to speak about such a wonderful gentleman and such a gift in the world, and a gift for me personally, but it's never really a personal thing. Like when anyone's willing to receive from Gary, the world gets greater. So
Yeah.
I just love that we get to talk about him. But I would say the first time I made my way to the microphone to ask a question about singing, he immediately facilitated me to look at the willingness to receive more, because I had always come from the idea that I had to gift. It was a constant outpouring doing something, giving something, and trying to perfect it and do it right. And within just a few minutes of standing at the mic, it started to melt into something that was also a gift for me. And there was so much more to receive. I could receive where it landed in people's worlds, and I could receive the joy of getting to have this gift in my body. I could receive the judgment when people didn't like it. Like there was it was the beginning of having no reason to not enjoy being. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, no, that's just orgasmic. It's just, again, for anybody watching, what if you could just even close your eyes and listen and allow, the spaces and the gift that you're beautifully speaking from and as Desiree. What if our viewers could just close their eyes and just receive this into their world? Because what I've also observed is, I've attended many, many classes live and online with Gary, and there's nothing like being in a live class with him where I kind of feel like, when we first enter, it's like this mishmash of heavy metal and classical music and jazz, and everybody's coming in with their life as it is currently, but they are all desiring to have something different show up. Otherwise, why are they choosing the class, And because we've just come out of the 6th day, it's been this beautiful, like a maestro getting his symphony, just all working together, all humming together, all vibrating, and we're contributing to each other's harmony, if you like, as a whole. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to say anything to that as well, Desiree. I mean, you've been in many classes with Gary live as well, so...
Well, you said it so perfectly, because we show up kind of noisy. We're like, our heads are noisy. We've got stuff going on in our life that we maybe haven't found the question and the consciousness. And so, yeah, it's kind of like, and it's not a thing that you do once. I mean, I've been coming to these classes for over a decade, and it's always this place where I come out of trying. This is the best way I could describe what Gary's given me. If I haven't been to a class or like been using the tools, I tend to try to harmonize with like modern culture, this reality, which never works for someone like me. And so it can make you noisy, and you're trying to do something. And what I got from him is where I actually harmonize is in this space that we've been accelerating and expanding more the last few days here. But it's this space of the inclusion of really the living earth and the living consciousness, and also the future creation. And not to come from like a significant place, but when we're really happy and we're harmonizing with what we desire to see this world to be, which is kind of what you were saying this conversation could be about, like, I know what is possible also, or what I thought, let me rephrase this. What I thought as a kid, it was a far-fetched dream of how I wished we all really were here together and on the earth. I thought it was like a fantasy. But in how you just like invited me to this conversation, like, what future is Gary aware of that's possible now? And we're part of creating that. Gets me to want to harmonize with what I know is possible, not what I think is like a dream or a fantasy anymore. So living like as an acoustic song toward something that is not a fantasy, that is what we are the makers of, we are the weavers of, we are the actualizers of. And I know that now because I've lived many steps and I see what I've created, and I can't deny that anymore. So with these tools, like Gary's shown me what I'm capable of creating, not how good of a person. I used to try to just be a really good person. He's taught me that I'm capable of creating a different way of being on the earth.
Yeah, and how he, like listening to you, the word tuning fork came into my awareness. It's like, we're all being finely tuned with our requests, our reach, our awareness of what could be possible. But sometimes we just need somebody that's a bit more masterful at tuning and maybe got a better ear
Yes.
Walking out into the world, taking that you and your body, your being as that tuning fork where you can have this harmony and start to create a lot more space and space and peace. The acoustical wavelength that we can choose to be, where there's no conflict in here, there's no conflict in our body. And yeah, it takes choice, it's a muscle to build, but when you have that sense of peace, when you have that sense of true peace and embodiment of what you know is possible, and it's not a definition, it's not you have to look this way or act, or it's your unique tuning fork, it's your unique vibration, it's your unique gift that you are as you to the world. And how when we come together, I love, especially over a 6-day event where myself included, I watch the people and the bodies as we kind of all start to harmonize, and it's like this softening where we kind of we're still very much, our being is starting to shine more, we're stepping into more of that acoustical wavelength where we contribute to each other. There's none of this separation, there's less and less and less judgment and more oneness available. So,
well,
and for me, yeah, sorry, you go.
That to me is what it is to sing together. Like, that's singing together, making the music of life together. And it does, like, I always am suggesting Gary's books and classes, but it is such a thrill. I think back of the first time and the second and the third and the fourth, and every time I could be around him, to know, because it's one thing to like hear it and read it and give it a shot, but it's such an amazing thing to be in the presence of someone who's being what they're speaking to, and what that does when a whole group of people come together and relax into that. You gotta be there to know what that is like. It's like,
and just how brilliant our bodies are, because I think a lot of the times, we're walking heads on legs, I'm talking more about maybe people who don't have the tools of access, or maybe haven't had their bars run or listened to a class or read a book or whatever. That ability to actually be a being rather than this head on legs where there's just this constant noise and chatter, to have that acoustical wavelength where you are at peace. And not only that, there's a space like you touched on earlier where we actually get to create our life, our living, our body, our future, our finances, everything. We truly become the maestro. We become the source of what we desire to weave into and onto the planet, and with the planet, and with everything.
And with everything. Like, this is, it's such a joy to finally have all kinds of questions and tools to not try to get yourself right, to not have to try to be won over by as many people as you can try to be won over by. This is like where you really enjoy being you, and we're all coming to a place where you start to, like, when you bring up singing, it's like you start to actually enjoy your own singing, because you come from a world, whether it's as a musician or an architect or whatever it is, we have this idea that we have to do it for others and they have to like it or not like it, and we lose that sense of enjoying being the gift that we are, and having our own gifts also for our own healing, our own upgrading. And when we really start to enjoy the gift that we are, and we include receiving of ourselves, then it's so much easier to also just admire everyone and enjoy people for all of those different instruments and how they show up. And separation just sort of falls away. It's not like a little utopian fake everybody loves each other thing. It's just that separation is just not as interesting. It just sort of, it falls into the background, and people are choosing from inclusion based on their consciousness. It's not like a shiny happy people thing. It's an actual choice to enjoy each other,
Yeah.
And I know that when I was a kid, like I talk about it a lot when I facilitate, but like I remember being like really excited, like all these playmates, like how much fun can we have, and watching everybody go to separation. Like, no, we were supposed to have fun. But it starts with getting to have fun with you and yourself, and then the universe starts to show you more and more things that are also willing to play and have fun. And really, you know what, like Gary's also shown me that the future is full of so much more joy than I ever knew. Like, it's not a doomsday thing. From the space of consciousness, the future is bright, and there's so much to look forward to, like so much to get ourselves ready to have. There's splendor ahead if we're willing to show up for it.
And being that dominant space, you know, being that splendor as you walk through your day, where you are just immune to any of the noise, the cacophony from the external world, regardless of what's going on. And it's not that you're shut down and living, like you say, in this utopian bubble. You can still be present with whatever it is, but it's not relevant. It's not significant. You have enough of your own space and your own joy that actually radiates. And for those that are desiring, they can choose to come and, you know, hang out and ask questions and get curious about what's different about you, you know, being the invitation. But that's where being you invites other people. Those that desire it will find you, and those that don't, that's fine. They'll live the life the way that they feel is good for them. So awesome.
It's just so much. It's so much easier with everything Gary Douglas has given us and teaches, and has made such a grand effort to share what he discovered that created more peace and joy in his life. That he put it into such a mass amount of content for us to learn from. Like, when I see how much enthusiasm and effort he put into making this available, I knew there must be something to this. Like, it's from a space of desiring others to also enjoy being alive. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what anybody believes in or wants to put their life to, that's the greatest gift, is if you enjoyed the day, and you're going to enjoy another one. And it gets really simple and it gets really expansive, but to get to enjoy being alive is actually a conscious choice. It's not an attitude thing. It changes the world around us.
Yeah. And the gift of knowing how to choose, you know, like you mentioned earlier, most of us live for somebody else's life, or to make sure other people are happy or their needs and wants are furnished, rather than, you know, what if you could give yourself the choice to do what, you know, amplifies that joy, amplifies that happiness, amplifies what that is for you individually. You know, that you as a being sing as you walk through your life. You sing. It doesn't matter what it is. It's what brings you the most joy and makes you feel more alive than anything.
Gosh. And as you just said, that's exactly what Gary has done for me and done for so many people. Like, he got me to, I'm thinking of all the different things, not just with my music and the love I have of that. I have a love of many, many, many things. And to have it and to give myself that is not, it's a gift to the world when you gift you. And that's like, I don't even know how to thank him for that, other than live as happily as I can to add that. And I just wanted to say one other thing. It's, we're not like, it's not like you have to separate from anyone anymore, but you're living from such a different space when you sing through your life. And when it gets crunchy, you have tools to get to question and more awareness, which is like the thrill of getting to have more clarity. It's really thrilling. Like, that makes my body sing when I have more clarity about something. So struggles are possibilities. Everything morphs into a place where I could have more of me. And if I have